Hello, hi, and welcome back to the Strategic Magic Podcast. I'm your host, Blue, and I'm a business astrologer here to help you use astrology to start, grow, and scale your online business. We are making our way through these business foundations, and in this episode, I'm going to break down how you can use marketing with astrology to market your message and to bring aligned clients into your business. So let's get into it. Marketing is one of my favorite things to support my clients around, so I'm really excited to be breaking down marketing from an astrological lens with you. First of all, let's get on the same page as to what marketing really is. I find that marketing is truly powerful once you establish what your business model is and what your offers are, particularly your signature offer. Without those things in place, without knowing exactly what it is that you are here to market, to sell, to draw attention to in your business, then marketing just falls flat. So it's really important to establish those things first and foremost. So definitely go back to the previous business foundation episodes that I have done if you aren't caught up yet and don't really have a solidified idea as to what it is that you're offering or even what kind of business you have. But once you have those things in place, that's when marketing can really begin to be strengthened, to be refined, and to be pivoted to exactly what it is that you do best. So what exactly is marketing? Marketing is the process of bringing awareness to your business, your offer, and your services. Essentially, this is how you bring attention to your expertise. I really love this process because, again, it becomes a lot easier to know what to draw attention to once you have established what it is that you are actually doing in your business. So once you have solidified the fact that what kind of service provider are you? Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Are you a service provider? And then even within that, what offers do you provide? What services are you providing in order to support your clients through the process or framework that is solving the problem that they have, which we have talked about at length in previous episodes. But what I really like about the process of bringing astrology into your marketing is that this creates so much more ease and sustainability for you as a business owner. In fact, I find that what makes an astrology aligned business stand out is the fact that we're not just doing any kind of marketing. We're really focusing on a sustainable marketing plan. So this is using the data gathered from your business model and your signature offer to consider how you are consistently marketing your business and essentially marketing your message. By using astrology to craft your marketing plan, you can take the pressure off of trying to build relevancy through just posting all the time or just trying to be visible on all of the platforms. Instead, you're really taking the approach of what creates a sustainable marketing plan for you based on your chart, your business model, and your signature offer. Sustainable marketing really is that girl because it's all about focusing on what it is that you do best and doing more of that to market your message rather than relying on consistency for consistency's sake or volume and just adding to the noise of what is available online. And so this is why sustainable marketing matters. So what is even included when we're talking about a sustainable marketing plan? The way I like to approach it is first approaching it by considering what kind of content do you like to create first and foremost. And by this, I'm really looking at, is it easiest for you to create audio content like a podcast, like what you're listening to? Is it easiest for you to create videos, to create written words like blog posts or emails, or even visual like taking pictures? Once you've considered the content type that is easiest for you to create, then you can create a marketing plan around that based on what is easiest for you to create. And so I really like to support my clients in building this approach around centering their marketing plan around long form content. Because once you're able to create consistency around the depth and the high quality of content, it makes it a lot easier to redistribute. So for example, right, the podcast is an incredible example of how to do this. Audio content is the easiest for me to create. It is the thing that is most sustainable for me to create, and I just get so much joy out of making this kind of content. And so I center a lot of my own marketing plan around creating audio content first and foremost, creating weekly podcast episodes for you to listen to learn how to bring astrology into your business strategy so that you can start, grow, and scale your online business. So from there, I'm able to take that audio content and create other forms of content that really support the audio. By that, I mean, I literally take the audio as I'm speaking it, I have the camera on, recording the audio content, creating a video, right? This video is going to go up on YouTube that you might be listening to there, or you might be listening to it on a podcast platform. That's another way to create that consistency. I'm then taking all of the information that I have written out to support, to plan out this podcast episode and creating a blog post from it. Not just taking the audio that I'm literally speaking and the transcript of that, which is a whole separate thing, but I'm creating another content piece by creating an accompanying blog post for this podcast episode. That'll also be able to be further distributed by writing an email, taking different ideas from that blog post, from this podcast episode, even from the YouTube video, and creating their own standalone short form content pieces from it. And then even further, I can, consider if I want to bring Pinterest into the plan by creating graphics around some of the main pieces. So all of these things is not that I'm creating brand new content ideas from jump, but I'm really centering my marketing energy around this one content piece, this one long form, high quality piece of content, and then creating my messaging from pulling from that piece. So that is how you're able to create that sustainable marketing plan that is still in alignment with you and how it is that you are best designed to create content. So as you can see, there are a whole lot of pieces that go into creating a sustainable marketing plan, which is why it is really important to know that creating a sustainable marketing plan takes time. Choosing this route, rather than rushing to solidify your marketing from the very beginning of establishing your business, this gives your business the space that it needs to unveil itself to you and develop at an appropriate pace. So even with approaching it from an astrological lens, it'll take time for you to figure out what your unique approach is to marketing. And that's because we're not just looking at the energy, again, of one area of your chart. We're not just focusing on the second house or your midheaven. We're also considering, along with your astrological energy, what your experiences are, what your expertise is, what is the transformation that you're leading or guiding your clients through, and what the process or framework is that best infuses this energy to take them from where they are to the solution that they want to achieve. That's how you create sustainable marketing. So let's talk about the astrology of sustainable marketing. The key to sustainable marketing is really having a defined business model and offer development, which I've talked about in previous podcast episodes. So this allows you to create a solid foundation for your marketing to stand upon. By figuring out what your business model is, allows you to narrow down the realm of possibilities for what it is that you can create with your offer. And then your offer helps you to solidify even further the direct route from problem to solution. So let's zero in on the two spaces that I would support you with as your business astrologer in order to help you create a sustainable marketing plan. So the first place that I would look to is the 6th house. So I personally love working with the energy of the 6th house. I find that its reliance on creating structure and foundation just works really well in filling in a lot of these gaps for you within your business. So the 6th house is the house of systems, routines. This is what is required for your business to function as optimally as possible. From the lens of business astrology, the 6th house can also help guide and consider what your business needs in order to be at its healthiest in order to function at its best and to do its best work. I like to think of this as what is actually required from you for your business in order for you to provide your best work as a service provider, coach, or consultant. The sixth house is not necessarily a sexy house. This is a lot of the background work, the back end things, the things that are often unseen and hidden away from the public, but they're still important because without the systems and structure within the sixth house, you're not really able to function at your best. You're not really able to be prepared to call in the opportunities that you want to have within your business. And so working with the energy of the sixth house in terms of marketing can really help you to solidify what sustainability looks like for you in your business. Considering that consistency doesn't mean every single day. Consistency is really just about what is the output that you can commit to without sacrificing quality. Maybe for you, that looks like creating marketing assets that you're putting out on a weekly basis. But perhaps that may look like putting out marketing assets bi-weekly or even monthly. It's really about considering what is the time frame that you have to allocate to marketing material. Focusing on a sustainable marketing plan is not about doing the most. It's about really zeroing in on what allows you to do your best work. So perhaps the marketing plan that works best for you is creating weekly video content first and foremost. Can you go through the entire process of start to finish creating video content without sacrificing that quality and also allowing time to repurpose that video content into other forms of content? Same thing goes for perhaps putting out bi-weekly podcast episodes as your main content type and allocating a bi-weekly schedule in order for you to get those podcast episodes out and also to create the supplemental marketing material that's based from those podcast episodes. So again, really zeroing in on the energy of your sixth house can help you to determine what level of consistency actually works best for you, as well as giving you more insight as to the content types that work best for you and what your consistency level needs to look like in getting those content pieces out. Now, when it comes to planetary energy, I love working with Venus for marketing. Venus is the planet of creativity and attraction. So it just makes sense to work with this energy when it comes to business astrology and marketing specifically. Marketing thrives on attraction energy, and marketing is that call to action, that flagship piece of content that allows people to know who we are, to discover us, to become attracted to what it is that we are putting out in the world, what our specific solution to a particular problem is, and the unique way that we are presenting online. So working with the energy of Venus really allows us to tap into what it is that we do best. I really like this because it helps answer the question of like, how do I stand out amongst the sea of other people within my niche? Venusian energy really allows you to tap into your particular way of putting out this attraction energy. For my business, there are a ton of astrologers. There's less business astrologers, but there's still a lot of astrologers that speak to business from an astrological lens. So there's a few different ways that I use my energy to differentiate myself. One of them being, even in terms of my marketing, having my podcast be my primary content type allows me to stand out. It allows me to attract a certain level of clientele because not everybody wants to consume astrological content in podcast form. Not everybody wants to sit down to learn how to use astrology for their business. So that automatically helps me to stand out, but even deeper, right? The approach that I take in breaking down business astrology, the specific examples that I use, my own expertise and experiences as an online business owner. All of these things help me to differentiate myself even amongst other astrologers and other business astrologers. Working with your Venusian energy can really help you to tap into what helps you to stand out, really identifying what it is that you do best, and even present the opportunity for you to use that in order to stand out and differentiate yourself within the niche. And so combining both of the energies of your sixth house and your Venus can help you to establish what your marketing strategy looks like from an astrological lens and how to infuse that energy with the data that you've collected about your business model, your signature offer, and the particular ways that you are designed to create consistent, high quality, long form content in order to establish and create a sustainable marketing plan that works best for you. So if you are curious about how to actually use the specifics of your birth chart in order to establish your sustainable marketing plan, this is exactly what I support my clients with inside of my one-on-one program, Private Astrologer. So you can get all of the information for that, as well as a link to book your sales call and join the program in the description show notes below. So go ahead and check that out. I can't wait to chat with you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.